Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. This is a reading for the sign of Cancer. This is your month of September, Cancer. We're starting out with Sulis. Sulis is a Celtic goddess, and the keywords are illness and wellness. So to me, and especially relating to the sign Cancer, this is about the inward movement that is very characteristic to Cancer when you retreat, into your hard shell, and also the way you move forward and outward with your strong shell that gives you so much resilience and so much strength, and it's what gives you that power to grasp things very tightly and achieve what you want. So to me, this month for you, Cancer, is about this balance between illness and wellness, which is to me meaning moving inward and expressing your energy inwardly, and choosing when it's the right time to move outwardly and having that balance. But there's also another message this month, which is there's a fleetingness to things. I feel like there's this warning or advice to adapt to instability or to something that is fleeting, that is kind of tenuous, or that is maybe it's something that you thought was more stable. But anyway, I feel like you will have this constant feeling of being well and being unwell, and being unwell doesn't really mean like you're going to have a certain illness or something like that. To me, it has a lot more to do with facing subjects that are maybe unpleasant to you, or that they may awaken feelings that they're going to be hard to express or to face or to accept, maybe to integrate. So it's a part of you has a lot of rage, that has a lot of power, of course, because Sekhmet is the goddess of war and power, rage and violence. But it's something that maybe it's hard for you to accept, maybe even your own power. But I feel like it can also be conflict around you, so conflict with other people. And I say that because we have Bastet and Sekhmet pairing together, and Bastet has a lot to do with your connections, with the relationships around you. And it's a very beneficial card. It's a very positive card. But Sekhmet is not so positive. But what's interesting to me is, although this deck is a bit different, it can be the strength card, right? So there's this power. It's something that has to be accepted and managed, but it might be unpleasant. It might be something that drains you. It might be something that tires you, that you don't really enjoy feeling. But then you have Bastet, which is the pleasantness of being with others, connections, fertility, abundance, protection of children, protection of your family. It's an especially auspicious card in whatever relates to the connections, the emotional connections around you. It's a very happy, very joyous card. So these are two very different approaches. So this is very relaxed, joyous, and effortless, and very pleasant. And it can be very powerful, but it can be very unpleasant. It can mean rage, it can mean conflict. So I feel like this month is the month where you're going to integrate something that has to do with these energies. What's just also interesting is that they're both feline, although this one is a cat and this one is a lioness. That's very interesting. So the feline energy. But then you have the Sphinx, and the Sphinx is about transformation. It's about integration. So I feel like this is connected to the wheel here. So there is going to be a change of energy this month. And there's two ways that this change is going to apply to this. So I feel like until you get to this point where things really change around you, and it's not only you that is doing the change in yourself or in the way you deal with others and with your surroundings, but until you get here, it's going to be kind of on and off, on and off, on and off. There's a fleetingness here because the Six of Wands in this deck represents the fleetingness of achievements. So you think you have things, all together and they're safe, they're stable, but maybe not quite. And that's also the case because there's the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles is also agreeing on how to split something, how to distribute wealth or material or energy, material gains, anything, estate. It can be, there's this agreement between you and other people, but maybe it's something that is fleeting and that can change. And I feel like there's someone who is going to help you change this. There's someone who is going to come forward and change this. And here with the flowering papyrus and the Fool, we have a completely different situation here. Because the flowering papyrus is about the fruits of whatever you're doing, your endeavors, your passions, your initiative is fructifying. It is bringing you fruits. It's fertile. But the Fool in this deck is the last card instead of the first. And it represents someone who is blind to whatever's happening. So you are blind to these fruits. You don't know yet. But the things you are doing have a lot of potential and they have so much to give to you. And they're going to give it to you this month. But I think that you're completely unaware of how this is going to happen exactly. So I guess you're going to be surprised by something. And that's also confirmed by the Eight of Wands here. And the Eight of Wands is a shoot of papyrus. So this is also a sign that there's something sprouting for you. There's something blooming that is coming towards you very quickly this month. And I think you're going to be caught off guard. Then we have the military person. And military person to me is kind of an advice for you this month. It's bringing you this message to be disciplined, to be methodical, to be very diligent in whatever you're doing. And it's also a nice combination here with the Eight of Wands, because Eight of Wands also has a lot to do with ambitions, with your drives, with wanting more. And military person is kind of telling you how, right? It's advising you on how to move forward and how to get more out of this situation, more out of yourself, more energy. So I feel like this is also advising you on how to manage this feeling of kind of going in and out of things, of not really managing to have this very consistent, how do I say, routine, maybe even. And know that you are developing a discipline and a method of going out and coming in, going out and coming in without effort. And this is a bit hard in the beginning because these energies seem very contrasting, but at the same time, they are both feline. So they are both actually the same energy. They're just in different stages, different vibrations. But there's a feline in the lioness. There's a cat in the lioness. And the cat has also the potential for violence and aggression, like becoming a lioness. So to me, this is connecting these two sides of yourself, the very soft side, the very sweet side that connects to everyone, and also the ability to go into conflict with your power completely developed and completely out in the open. So revealing who you really are in your entirety and not being afraid of conflict, not being afraid of stepping on other people's toes, because I feel like this is a part of your discipline. This is a part of your routine. It should be a part of yourself. This is like saying yes and no, right? We have to know when to say yes and when to say no, and they're both a part of the same path. They are the integration. All these aspects, like the Sphinx. So I want to clarify this fleetingness that you're going to feel this month. The moon, yeah. So I feel like this fleetingness is going to awaken a lot of fears in you. It's the moon is your ruling planet, right? But it's also very scorpionic and of course it's the card of Pisces, but there's a Scorpio here in this card, and it can be a crab, but here it appears to be a Scorpio. So this is also part of your transformation. So yeah, okay, so having this ability to transform, a Gemini was also a lot about shape-shifting. It's not quite the same because I feel like for you, the shape-shifting, it triggers different abilities and different feelings in Cancer. I feel like it's maybe easier for Gemini to be lighter, having a lighter touch and grasp of things. But for Cancer, this is maybe harder. So it might feel a little bit high contrast. It's like seeing everything in high contrast and in black and white, right? But it's not black and white. It's actually an illusion. This duality is illusory. The King of Swords. So again, this there's this idea that there's someone, to me, that is going to be significant in this situation. You know what? This can even be a matter that's related to law or to an authority, someone who is going to emit a certain judgment, and it is going to be in your favor. Something that is going to benefit you. It's going to change the rules of the game. And I think that you're not going to know about this yet. Maybe more towards the end of the month. of September. It's not right away. 10 of Wands. 2 of Cups. Here you see again this uncertainty, this there's this knowledge that is hidden from you, I feel, because this is also a card of suppression or oppression of certain energies. So I feel like there's something that you don't know yet and that is producing a lot of goodness, and it's going to be taking you to a place where you're going to have a lot of affinity with someone, maybe even a partnership. There's a collaboration, there's this coming together with the 2 of Cups in the end of the month. And maybe this coming together also has to do with this movement of the 8 of Wands. There's some communication that is coming. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's in the end of the month. You're going to be aware of what's really going on. And you just have to keep being disciplined and managing these 2 energies very well, because it's like the universe is working behind the scenes. That's what I feel. There's a lot of people who are doing things that are fated for you that I don't think you control, and I don't think you're aware of them at all. So just manage this dynamic of being proactive and outgoing and knowing a lot about your inner state and being very aware of your inner guidance. Because when we are sick, it's like, or ill, we have to direct our energies to our healing. So they're directed at us. And when we are well, it is time to put those energies outwardly, and to express them, right? So there is a time to be silent and to receive, and there is a time to express. And really knowing when to do this is the integration that is needed this month, being very disciplined about it, being very mindful and intentional, I would say, being very intentional and skilled in how to communicate, when you shouldn't say anything, when you should be silent, and also when you should be resting and when you should be taking care of yourself, because Solis is also about that. So being methodical and disciplined about taking care of yourself, having time to heal, having time to rest, having time for yourself to do whatever you want. Like, that's one thing that's very interesting about Solis, is that she is a sun goddess. So the sun might be a very good therapy for you also this month. So catching some sun rays, or living during the day more than during the night, choosing the light, right? Choosing the light and resting and basking in its warmth and in its glory, right? Basking in this energy. It's like powering your batteries. And so yeah, and this balance between your inner waters, your deep and most profound emotions and thoughts, and matching them with your outwardly expression perfectly and honestly, and managing that energy, taking care of yourself so that you can be in your fullest potential and your fullest presence when you are with others, connecting with others. So beautiful reading, Cancer. I hope you have a fantastic September. If you also enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!